Hi, good day everybody. My name is Andrew. I'm from Teraco, data environments in South Africa, and I run the NAPAfrica neutral peering exchange as well. I'm going to talk about something that you guys might take for granted in mature markets, which is simple physical interconnects, and the effect that we've seen that has had on peering. If I get lost, it's only because we only decided very recently to do this presentation, so it's not the Guinness effect if I get lost. Okay, so you know, in our history, an interconnect at non-neutral facilities has usually been a sort of a layer 3 interconnect. So in a non-neutral environment, getting an interconnect between two independent companies means that you would usually have to go via the network of the host of the facility. So previously, before the neutral facility came along, that was how an interconnect was done. So we're looking at this very specific example over here, where there is peering being done at an exchange point. So if you have a look at the bottom corner, we've got a provider C, which is a very large content provider within South Africa. But they buy upstream from two different ISPs. So provider C has got their own AS number, so technically they should be able to peer. So what's happening is they're reselling ADSL access via one provider, and they're hosting their content platform, which is extremely large, at a different provider. So there's a lot of interconnection between their own customers. So their own ADSL customers would go to their own content platforms as well, but they were paying double for that. So they were paying around $70 per megabit for their own customers, their own DSL customers, to get to their own hosting platform. So you can see the two providers that were providing upstream for them were exchanging that traffic at zero cost, so getting the benefit and you know, charging downwards for that. So per megabit, this provider, large content provider, was paying around $140 US dollars per megabit. And this is an example that we've seen probably within the last 2 months. So it is still happening. And you know, most of this is transit, so it's layer 3. Okay, so what we've done with this customer at our facility now is that because they have their own AS number, they can now peer directly with our open exchange. So they still have the relationship with their two upstream providers, obviously for breakout and for content that's not available at the exchange. But as you can see, you know, for a large portion of their traffic, they're now peering that at the exchange, and paying zero cost on the interconnect to the exchange. So from our facility, we don't charge interconnect prices to get to our exchange points. So that's all zero rated, and interconnects within our facility to different customers, we charge about $20 for the layer 1. So the physical interconnect. Because we're neutral, we don't get involved in the actual traffic that goes over that, but your physical connection is $20. So obviously this customer is now peering on the exchange as well, which is something that they just didn't realize in the past that they could do. So it was a very interesting scenario for us. Just to, you know, this customer is obviously now saving quite a bit on moving traffic between their two different platforms. Okay, and yeah, we were warned against showing traffic graphs. So this is up and to the right as per usual, but it's not a traffic graph. This shows the interconnects within our facilities over the last 12 months. It's interesting to note that we've seen a corresponding increase in the traffic at our exchange, corresponding to the amount of interconnects that we've deployed. Okay, this is we can't name any names, but this is a financial institution that peers with us, and this is a graph that they've created, and what it means is they show the amount of money that they are saving on peering traffic, so on settlement-free peering traffic. So what you can see is there the two exchange points that they are at, and the amount that they are saving per month. And it's quite funny. I think Andy Davidson came up with the new measurement, which is called a gigarand. So we're not measuring in gigabit anymore. We're now measuring in gigarand. So based on this and by our calculation, this customer is saving about 25 gigarand per month. Okay, and then just a little bit about our exchange. We consider ourselves the first neutral and open peering exchange in South Africa, built along the same sort of principles that we learned from a lot of you. Within Africa, we make multilateral root servers available. We allow members to peer bilaterally as well, and we've seen quite a strong growth in that. Interesting to note, which something that's always very interesting for you guys as well, is we don't enforce multilateral peering, but approximately 95% of our members have joined our root servers, which is very interesting. I think at the moment we've got a very small number that haven't joined, and even the ones that initially didn't join have been pressured to join by members that are already on the root servers. So it's I think a bit of a change to the rest of the world. Currently, I'm not going to show you a traffic graph, but we've just reached 70 members in South Africa. We're getting a lot of international guys coming in to peer with us as well. And our numbers are obviously a lot smaller than what you guys are used to, but yesterday for the first time we peaked at 3 gigabit, which is that's great for us. So it might seem a bit small for you guys, but we're very happy about that. Yeah, so just to conclude, the key factors that we see to building an ecosystem, as we call it, and what we've seen recently is neutral facilities are needed in our country. We see that as a key building block to better the internet. We also consider low interconnect costs a very important factor. We've had a lot of arguments with a lot of people about the cost of our interconnects. As I said earlier, a lot of other facilities in our country charge very high rates, and typically will do it at a layer 3 level or a layer 2 level to interconnect different customers within the same facility. So we see that as a key driver, and we have seen that push growth of traffic within our facility is good cost interconnects. Obviously, then what we see next is the neutral peering. So as I said, we've seen the correlation between interconnects and peering is very strong. But also very important to note the open peering concept, whereas in the past peering in South Africa has typically been a transit arrangement. So we have our incumbent who claims to peer with a lot of people, but it's a BGP session, but they're selling transit over it. So it's not true peering, and that message is something that we need to drive to the market. And yeah, all of those things together, we think are the key building blocks for an ecosystem in Africa, giving a lot of extensive opportunities. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. Sure. Any questions for Andrew? No, that's not a question. It's walking out. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Mike. Mike is going to give us an update on the switching wish list and